Hello and welcome to the webinar. We're going to run through batch entry in daily events. So first of all, we're going to go through how to declare pregnant animals. So to do that as a batch, if you go to the cow's head, daily tasks, daily events, and then here you've got your batch entry. Click on batch entry and you have all of these options here of what you can enter as a batch on the animals in the program. So here we have the option to declare pregnant. So click on that and now you're brought the option to select what animal types you want to be returned, whether it's young stock. You can untick that if you don't want them to be displayed. And then you can just press next. Now we've brought back a list of all the animals that are currently inseminated, and they've gone past the 45 days after service. That's on the first screen. So to declare some animals pregnant, you can just tick the tick boxes besides the animal numbers, or you can, if you want a quick search, just type in the animal number in the top bar and then press enter, and that will tick them as you go. So select the animals and then press next. There's a drop down here where you can enter the date, so it's defaulted to today, but I can change that to yesterday if that's when they were declared pregnant. You've got all the pregnancy statuses here, so if we have a batch of animals that I've selected, we can mark them as PD positive or uncertain, negative, barren, and aborted. We can do all of those actions as a batch. So for these ones, we're going to say that they're PD positive. You can type in a comment there against all the animals if you wish, and then press finish. So now those 3 animals that I have selected are declared pregnant, and if we press OK to that one, we can now go back in straight away and do some more, say mark some animals as barren. So if we were to say yes to that one, it just jumps back to this screen here. And again, you can select the relevant animals, go to next, and then you can do your uncertains or negatives animals there. So that's how you would do a batch data entry on the pregnancy status of some animals. So what we're going to do now is we're going to go through the dry off as a batch. So we have got a webinar on how to dry off using treatment plans. So we have got a treatment plans webinar on how to set up treatment plans, and you can also go into batch entry here and dry off using medicines that you're manually inputting. So click on batch entry, select the dry off. A list of animals that are due to be dried off are displayed, and these are all relevant to the settings that are in your program. And again, we do have a webinar on the general settings, or you can give us a call if you want some help just to check that they're all okay for what your farm requires. Select the animals that are due to be dried off. Press next. Select the dry off date, so it's defaulted to today, but again, you have got the ability to change it. Press next again. And now you need to enter the treatment. So we're going to put in that it's a dry cow therapy. You can select the administrators. This is all by pressing those squares to the right of those fields. Press next again. So this is where you would add the treatment. So here we have got a treatment plan, but if you're not using a treatment plan, you have the ability to add the medicine. So press next again. Ensure that it's from your own stock if that's what you're using, and that will calculate out of the medicine stock on your farm. Click on the square next to medicine, and we're going to go with Orbisil. Press OK, and the batch number has automatically populated. The amount here, we've got animal, so this is the amount of tubes per animal. You can double check what units of medicine comes in at the top. So we're going to put 4 tubes per animal. We've got 3 animals selected, so as a group that's 12 tubes. In this screen as well, you can adjust the withdrawal period as a one-off if you want to, but we're going to leave it as 0 for a minute. Press next and then finish. So now we have put 3 dry-offs onto 3 separate animals, 3 treatments, 3 medicines, and they've all had 4 tubes each. Press OK, and those 3 animals have been dried off. What you can also do in batch entry is enroll animals. So if you go to batch entry and you go to enroll animals, if you've bought some animals in and you want to put them on your system, you can use the enrollment type here of herd entry. So if we select herd entry, you would then enter the purchase date, and then you will also be able to enter where you purchased them from, the breed of the animals. So you just go in and select your breed, and then the animal type. Press next. And now these are the optional items of data that you can input on the animals, and this can be tailored to what information you have on them. So if you've only got an ear tag, then just leave ear tag ticked. If you know what lactation number and calving date they are, I would tick that one, and same goes with the rest. If you've got all of that information, it's worth putting it all in. And then press next. And then what happens is we've got the lactation number here now and the calving date, and then you would go through and enter each line as an animal. So we're going to put in the animal number, the birth date, ear tag, the sex. Dairy cows is already in there because we selected that already. The group that you would like them to go in, hair color, the breed, again, that's standard from when we selected the breed on the other page. And then if they're on farm, what they're on farm as, so this is a herd entry, the purchase date, and then again you would just type in lactation and calving date. Once you've put all of those informations in here, you would then press enter to go to the next line, and then you would enter the next animal. And when all your animals are there that you want to enroll as a herd entry, you would press finish, and then they'll be on your farm. If we go back to the beginning here, so if we just go back in again, so enroll animals, and you want to enter an ancestor. So if you want to put in the ancestor of an animal, but you don't want that, say, dam on your animal records as an animal on farm, you can enter an ancestor. So they won't actually be on your farm, but they'll be allocated to the cow that you do have currently on farm. You would then select the breed and the animal type. Enter any of the, again, tick all the information boxes here that you've got on what you can enter for that ancestor. So we're only going to select ear tag, press next. You've got all of this information here to enter on that cow. You can ignore group, and purchase date and relation is greyed out. Once you've entered this information and you press finish, that animal record will be on your farm, but it won't be an active animal. And then you can link that ancestor then as the dam to, say, a purchased animal that you've got now on farm. So if you do get a bit stuck on this bit, we can log in and help you on the help desk. But you do have the ability to add an ancestor. Does anyone have any questions on what we've gone through on the batch entry? If you do, just type them in and we can address those now. Okay, we don't have any questions at the moment. So all of the webinars on the health and health batch entry and also entering treatment plans, etc., they're all on our website under the webinar tab. This webinar here as well will be uploaded onto the website and onto our Facebook page. And after this webinar, you will be sent a short survey if you could fill that out. And we'll send out the invites for next week's webinar by the end of tomorrow. Thanks for